Welcome back, my loyal subjects, to more Trails of Cold Steel 2. Pharaoh Fiasco here. Last episode, we got rescued by this beautiful Crimson Wing here, or Crimson Wings, the Courageous, and we got 2 new adult party members. At least I'm assuming so. Also Alphen, but I'm highly doubting Alphen's gonna stay along for the ride. Man. Whole crowd of people here.
If that is all, I will return to a state of inactivity.
Yeah, you've done well, Valimar, and I guess the Courageous is just gonna be our new base then.
Thanks for all you've done, Valimar. I'll be counting on you if anything else comes up.
At least we can't be attacked here, so.
Acknowledged. Prepare yourself for your next encounter with the Azure Knight, my awakener.
Dang, even Valimar is like, we need to get stronger.
Don't worry, I will. We lost last time, but I know that's not all I'm capable of. As long as we're all together, I know I can get stronger.
I'm glad Rena's so optimistic because we didn't just lose, dude. We got absolutely mastered.
I eagerly await your results.
Alright.
Looks like he went to sleep.
So, this is what the Great Ashen Knight looks like up close, huh?
Are you impressed, Prince Oliver?
I've heard all manner of rumor about it, but I never expected I'd stand in the presence of a legend.
I can't possibly begin to thank you enough.
Seriously, we needed all the extra manpower we could get.
I don't know what I would have done if you hadn't come to my aid. Thank you. Really.
I don't think they'd have killed us, but we'd definitely still be on board the Pantagruel, so.
And that goes for everyone else, too. Thanks for coming to rescue me, guys.
Crap.
We're just happy you're okay.
Just don't scare us like that again, alright?
True. We were all on edge waiting for you to get back.
And yet you somehow managed to come out unscathed with Her Highness in tow.
You make it sound like it was easy. Well, easy or not, it was worth going on board. I got plenty of useful info out of it.
Yeah, dude, we're a little bit closer to finding out what's going on with Elise, for one.
So funny enough, I'd say their invitation worked to my benefit more than theirs.
And it also humanized quite a lot of them, especially Crow, at least to me.
I guess there's no harm in looking at the positives now that all's said and done.
Look at you, acting mature and all grown up. Brings a tear to my eye.
Looks like we have some catching up to do.
I'd like to follow Reen's lead and extend my thanks to each of you as well. Thank you, all of you.
All you need to do is learn how to fight better, dude. That's all.
And, dear brother, it's a relief to see you safe and sound.
Where's Cedric?
Though I never pictured my great escape would end with you in this airship of all things.
We did time our appearance fabulously, if I do say so myself.
I kind of half believe it. If they told me that they planned it for that specific moment, I'd half believe it, dude.
My only regret is that we weren't able to blow in with a storm of rose petals when we boarded them.
It would look classy coming from Prince Oliver, dude. Not so much when Blue Blanc does it.
Perhaps I should have asked Emma to look into the feasibility of making such a magnificent entrance.
Oh man, that would have been so cool.
Well, it's probably not impossible.
Emma's going along with that?
Now you're just being silly.
Sounds about right for our prince.
Well, at the very least, I'd say we're clear of any immediate danger. And given this opportunity, I'd like to sit down with you to discuss our situation and exchange any pertinent information.
And those two, Viscount Arcade and Prince Oliver, probably have a lot of juicy tidbits for us, too.
But first, I think we have a few more reunions to celebrate.
Reen!
Elise? Oh, right. I mean... like...
Towa! George!
Like, I'm glad they're here, too, but...
I thought I heard your voices when we started flying away from the Pantagruel. So you were on board too?
You bet. Good to see you, Reen.
They get their own intro spins. Towa Herschel.
Whoa!
Really?
It's really you. You're really okay.
Well, in my actual save file, I only hung out with Towa like 2. If my memory serves, maybe 2 or 3 times. Definitely at least twice. But not enough for this.
No sooner had we found out that you were still alive, we got told you had been taken by the Alliance. We've been so worried worried about you.
I'm a real troublemaker, aren't I?
Yeah, getting kidnapped and stuff.
Sorry, Towa. But I'm glad to see you and George made it out okay. Everything I've said to you has been at the back of my mind ever since we parted ways in Trista, and it's kept me going every step of the way. So, thank you.
Where's her captain's hat, though? That was a cool little accessory she had.
Oh. You remembered. You promised me you wouldn't die. And you didn't. And then there was the promise you made during the festival after party. You said that next year you'd work to make the Academy even more wonderful than it is now. We still need to work on that one, but I know you're not the kind of guy who'd go back on his word.
I mean, I feel like liberating the Academy would go a pretty long way towards that, but yeah, baby steps.
See? Reen's a guy you can count on.
George Gnome. Oh, that...
Nice to see her holding up okay. Still can't believe you made it through all that fighting in Trista in one piece, but... Well, here you are.
Oh, you have little faith, George.
Good to see you again, George. But how'd you two end up on the Courageous to begin with?
We'll bring you up to speed once we all sit down for our meeting. There's a conference room on one of the upper floors. We can meet there when you're ready.
So basically, this is our opportunity to run around and talk to everybody then. But hey. Now, that's... Well, we still need to catch up with Jellica. Though she's probably, like, conscripted to fight for the Noble Alliance or something. Or at least do something to work in their capacity. This should all be good, though. Oh! Okay, so Towa doesn't get the captain's hat just yet, then.
The Courageous began its independent operations right before Heimdall was first occupied. I realized what the Alliance was planning, so I gathered a skeleton crew, met with Viscount Arcade, and we hurried straight to Trista, where we found your classmates locked in combat with the Azure Knight.
Okay, that brings us about up to speed with the end of the last game, then.
I see. That explains why you were in Trista.
I shudder to think what would have happened if not for the Courageous's timely appearance.
Lots of dead teenagers, I'm sure.
What have you been doing since then, Father? I hadn't heard anything about your whereabouts until now.
Actually, considering that Crow and the Imperial Liberation Front seem to be playing some sort of long game, probably not very many dead teenagers, but Crow would have probably found like a very convenient excuse on skedaddling.
Eventually, we were able to shake off the Azure Knight's pursuit.
Oh, maybe I'm completely wrong, huh?
And we've been traveling around the country ever since, preparing to find you and take you on board.
George and I haven't been here long. The principal managed to get in touch with the Courageous without anyone noticing and sent us here.
From inside Trista?
He did?
I hope he's still alright. By the way, what happened to Major Vander?
Where is that guy? Yeah.
You two are always joined at the hip.
Ah, alas, he is currently indisposed.
Sounds fishy.
His military obligations have him heading up the 7th Armored Division in Western Erebonia. They're working with your former instructor, Major Neidhart, as well.
Okay, so both of those guys are gonna be gone for a little bit.
With him, too? So he's over in the west now.
Huh. I should have known the 4th Armored Division's ace wouldn't get his ass kicked so easily.
Oh, right. Dad said he'd heard from him too, remember?
Still, the west side of the country contains Marquis Hyarm's Sutherland province.
So that's where Patrick's at.
Along with Duke Cayenne's Lemaire province.
And Duke Cayenne, maybe that's where he was going?
The fighting there would no doubt be even more fierce than it is here in eastern Erebonia.
Correct. A large percentage of the Imperial Army's military strength still remains intact. But the Noble Alliance forces' constant attacks have put them at a disadvantage. On top of that, a number of townships in the region have been caught in the crossfire and suffered great losses.
Dang, that must suck.
That's terrible.
I'd heard as much, but it still pisses me off to hear it.
With the 3rd and 4th Armored Divisions occupied on the eastern side of the country, one can only assume the Noble Alliance intends to use that as an opportunity to crush the forces in the west.
So, it sounds to me like we're about to head over to Patrick's stomping grounds and help out a little bit.
Yeah, but they're not stupid. I bet the army in the west is putting up a pretty good fight by themselves.
It's too early to call things just yet.
An astute assessment. The situation in the Western Theater could change at a moment's notice.
Right. That means we're uncertain what course to pursue now. And having said that, we have a question to pose to all of you. The question, really.
Are they about to ask us where our, what we're actually going to do, whose side we're actually going to join?
With the whole of the Empire caught in the throes of civil war, what exactly do all of you intend to do from here on out?
Us?
We were in the midst of discussing that when Rean was taken to the Pantagruel, in fact.
I mean, I have no idea.
This is a full-on war, and our fellow Erebonian countrymen stand on both sides. No one here is delusional enough to think that a group of students like us are capable of stopping it by ourselves.
That's the first time I've heard anybody express that sentiment.
Still, during our field studies, we found ourselves up against the problems this nation faces again and again. And because we have that experience, I believe there's a place for us to change things in all this. A part only we can play. We may not be able to compete head-on with the Alliance, but together, we can move things in the right direction for Erebonia as a whole.
I mean, that sounds super optimistic, but we still need the game plan for that, dude.
That was wonderful, Rean.
Still, we aren't all gathered here for the same reasons. Be it rescuing Elise or settling things with Crow, we've all got something that we personally want to accomplish. But accomplishing those things won't be possible with the situation as it stands. And that's why, no matter how stacked the odds are against us, or how fierce the fighting becomes, we want to put everything we have into making all the difference we possibly can, in whatever way we can.
And again, this sounds extremely nice. Like, this speech is godlike, but how are we gonna do any of those things? What's our means to this particular end?
I think I speak for everyone in Class VII when I say that.
You bet.
I agree completely.
We may all come from different walks of life, but this time, that can work for us.
Exactly. We have something no one else does, and because of that, we can do things no one else can.
And what kind of class would we be if we didn't take advantage of that to protect the people and things we love?
But how? How are we gonna do that?
As well as find our own answers to the questions we have looming over us.
As Rean said, however big or small it is in the long run, we have a place in this war, and we have every intention of following it.
Okay.
Sounds like it'll be a pain, though.
No biggie. We're Class 7. Throw in a few of Rean's trademark speeches and we're raring to go.
Look at you kids.
You all sound like you've really thought long and hard about this.
That's the Class 7 I'm proud to serve.
And you guys aren't the only ones who feel that way. Everyone at Thor's has something to bring to the table. Remember the Academy's motto? Arise, O youth, and become the foundation of the world.
I'm really just waiting for somebody to explain what we're actually going to be doing.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That was what Principal Van Dyke said to us at the welcoming ceremony.
Literally forever ago.
The words of Drykel's the Lionheart serve to inspire us to this day, it would seem.
Of course. They ring as true as ever.
It's like you didn't even have to think about it. You guys just knew.
Yeah, you should be proud of yourselves. And it's true that Thor students are scattered all over the country right now. But I'm sure that each and every one of them are fighting too, and they feel the exact same way that you guys do.
I understand.
Yeah, a lot of the Thor students that we've met up until this point have been pretty supportive, so trying to just get by as best they can.
Your Highness.
Indeed. I figured you would have already given it some thought, but I wasn't expecting such a stirring conviction. But I think this at least settles the matter of what course to take. If you would do the honors, Captain.
As you wish. We're about to do something neither side would ever expect us to do. We're going to entrust this ship to you.
Dude, being military academy students has its perks, let me tell you.
From here on out, the Courageous is yours to command as you see fit.
What?
What?
That's a more appropriate reaction right there.
Father, would you mind elaborating?
Especially because we haven't actually given you guys a concrete plan other than, yes, we're gonna participate in some capacity.
It means exactly what it sounds like. The operation of this ship will be left entirely to your discretion. I imagine your journey to make a difference in this war needs a home base to begin from.
Yeah, and this is a lot less surprise attackable than Ymir was.
Well, yes, but...
But then what will you do?
We plan to disembark and make our way to the western provinces.
Can't we just fly them there?
Once there, we'll begin working with the 7th Armored Division and the other neutral forces in the region. The intention is to ensure that as few innocents as possible are harmed by this conflict.
I was actually worried this airship might prove a bit too conspicuous to aid us in pursuing that goal.
You know what? When you're right, you're right. They couldn't really... The Courageous is just... It's a flying target, dude.
But with us headed west, we'd be leaving all of eastern Erebonia in your hands.
Wow.
I see. That does make the most logical sense.
If you say so, Captain Claire.
Kinda. If we've got the Courageous, we could give our third faction some real weight. Neither side could afford to ignore us.
Okay, now it makes more sense.
I'm not even sure the guild could come up with a plan this wild.
Well, it's fair to say I've learned a lot from the way the guild's members handle things, yourself included.
Yeah, dude. Estelle never got entrusted with the entirety of an airship, so...
Oh, and Alphen?
Yes?
I'd like to ask you to remain on board the Courageous as well.
Cool. I was hoping she'd become a permanent fixture of the party.
This ship is technically the property of the Arner household, fathers in particular. It should give them a certain freedom to act if they have concrete backing from a member of the Imperial family.
Come on, dude.
I'd be happy to.
As if she'd say anything else. Yeah, dude.
Henceforth, I, Princess Alphen Rice Arnor, will guarantee the legitimacy of their actions. So do whatever you see fit to do. You have my full support.
Thank you, Your Highness.
Wow!
We are truly honored to have you with us.
Yeah, it is a very good thing that Elise chose to go to Saint Estrella.
No turning back now.
Yeah, seriously.
Alright.
We hereby humbly accept custody of the Courageous.
Please, leave Eastern Erebonia to us.
We'll be counting on you then.
I'm looking forward to toasting your future successes.
I hope this counts for a lot of credits at Thor's Military Academy, dude. Absolutely no way that, like... I just have to accept that they trust that we're gonna figure something out. On that day, Class 7 was entrusted with the day-to-day running of the Courageous. Viscount Arcade and Prince Oliver decided they would disembark near Legram and travel to Western Erebonia across the lake. And after receiving the bare minimum of instructions on how to operate the ship, its bright-eyed new owners set course for Ebel Highway. Alright. This is where we fought that obnoxious monster. Is there any reason in particular? Well, I guess... But why did we stop in Ebel Highway? We could have gone somewhere else. Oh, they haven't disembarked yet. Here it is.
I'm leaving you in charge of the Courageous's day-to-day operations. I don't doubt you'll make a fine acting captain.
It would be an honor.
Acting Captain Towa? Well, that was quick. Okay. Alright. There we go. So, how do I look? Wow, it really does suit you. Yeah, the size is just right too. Fortunately, I had a spare on hand that was a size smaller. That is quite fortunate. Oh. You're kinda like a cute mascot, like a human Mishi. Someone once told me that, that in one of the Tokyo Xanadu games, there was like a Towa lookalike that showed up, and she was kind of like Falcom's mascot. I never investigated it, but it sounds like something they do. Perhaps we should capitalize on this opportunity with an irresistible line of Captain Towa merchandise. Something tells me that this is kind of on the nose. That sounds like a wonderful idea. Oh, you two are terrible. Gotta say, the hat's a nice touch, Towa. It really suits you. Yep, you definitely look the part of a captain with it. I think things will be just fine here in our absence. Oh, wow! I'm just now noticing that Captain Claire, Toval, and Sharon are lined up to leave. Well, hey. Yeah, you guys won't be needing us around much longer. So you guys are taking off then? We'll be disembarking together with Father, yes? Yeah, it was nice to help out until you guys got back together again. But now that you are, there's no use in me sticking around. With the situation to the west what it is, I've decided to help out over there instead. I intend to return to commanding the RMP. I believe that's the best way I can contribute to bringing this war to an end. We understand. Bye-bye, Claire. If you bump into Lecter somewhere, make sure you say hi for me. I'll be sure to do so. I've been entrusted with a number of research tasks by Chairman Arena, as it so happens. So this is farewell for now. That doesn't sound shady at all. But, well, stay safe, alright? Whether you're a member of Ouroboros or not, it'll never change how you're our family's maid. Oh my. I'm touched to hear you say so. Please, my lady, take care of yourself. Still, let's keep in touch, okay? I'm gonna keep gathering as much info as I can through the Guild's intelligence network. It's not like Ereboni is the only place where strange stuff's going down now. True, I'm particularly concerned about what's happening over in Crossbell. Anyway, I'll leave that to you. Give my regards to Miles. You know it. Thanks for everything that you've done for us. I'm sure that we wouldn't have been able to come this far if not for your help. Hey, no need to get all stiff all of a sudden. You're embarrassing me. We may be working separately from now on, but I intend to do all I can to aid you in the future. Take care, everyone.
Rean, I'd like you to accept this. I hope that it will prove to be of some use to you in the challenges ahead.
Something tells me this might be a special scene. Received cerulean hearts.
Thank you, Captain. You've done so much for us, especially in Ymir. I can't begin to thank you enough for helping to protect my hometown.
You needn't thank me. I just did what I felt was right.
Like, I'm getting the feeling that this scene could have happened with either Sharon or Toval as well, and they might have given us something else.
I wish you all the best in the future. Not as a member of the RMP, but as a graduate of Thor's military academy.
Like, we might have gotten the Topaz hearts from Toval or the Amethyst hearts from Sharon. But, yeah. Senpai Claire, or Claire Senpai, let me put it right.
Thank you. We'll do all that we can to meet your expectations.
Yowza! Things are getting nice and steamy over there, huh?
Oh?
Come on, Elisa.
Uh-oh. I feel like I'm losing in the race for most reliable big sister figure all of a sudden.
Well, you get a gold star for trying.
Well then, it's time we bid you all a fond farewell for now.
Yeah, dude. Till we meet it. Wait, they didn't even have a chance to join us for anything.
Chin up, Alphen. I'm counting on your charm to keep everyone motivated.
We didn't get a chance to use them at all, dude. That's... Oh well.
May the goddess be with you.
I look forward to the stories you'll have to tell when next we meet, Laura.
Good luck, Father.
Alright, well. The glorious chapter of Viscount Arcade and Prince Oliver and our party comes to an end, I guess. But, yeah, that answers my question of why we were in Ebel Highway to begin with. Just dropping these guys off there. Huh. They're certainly colorful.
Well, there they go. You think they'll be okay on their own?
Only the goddess herself knows for certain. Still, with some already calling this a second advent of the War of the Lions, I can only hope they make it through unscathed.
I mean,
Oh, I'm sure they'll all be just fine.
Yeah, like, I don't expect any of us to die or anything, so...
They don't bear the symbol of the horned lion for show.
Yes, I suppose you're right.
That's the first time anyone in-game has said horned lion, but I remember it very specifically from some comments like 2 months back.
And the same goes for me, too. I can't very well call myself a Thor's alumnus and fail to deliver.
Well, well, are we birds of a feather? Proud Thor's graduates unite.
Did he mention that he was a Thor's graduate before this? I'm sure he must have, but...
I'll be in touch with them plenty in the coming weeks, so don't worry. The old guard will do as it must to keep watch over the young and vigilant. Speaking of the old guard, Chancellor Osborne was also a Thor's graduate.
And
Is he not?
that definitely sounds like something someone's mentioned before now, and that doesn't surprise me.
Yes, he was.
Sorry to say, I can't picture it.
Was he now?
He? Was it? Is that surprising? I could totally picture him wearing the uniform.
He and I may have had our differences, but I still feel a certain loss with his passing. I'd like to express my condolences to you while I have the chance.
I'm afraid I never had the chance to truly get to know him, but there's no doubt in my mind that he was one of the greatest men of our time.
Thank you.
Still, it must be tough for you with Heimdall under the Alliance's thumb.
So, and they're expecting us to liberate Heimdall, right? Crap.
Were you able to find out where his funeral was held?
He had a funeral? I hadn't even thought about that.
Actually...
Is he not actually dead?
Captain, is something amiss?
It's just that I received a strange report on that very issue.
Something shady's going on with this dude's corpse.
I was told his body was taken into the custody of the Imperial Guardsmen when the city was occupied. But then after that, it simply disappeared at some point.
Something shady!
Disappeared, you say?
Is it possible the reformist faction could have taken it from them?
I'm afraid I don't know. It is possible that the Intelligence Division did something to that effect.
Wait, if the Intelligence Division took custody of his body, how does Captain Claire not know that?
A disappearing corpse is certainly cause for concern.
Man. Well, at the very least, because if Chancellor Osborne doesn't stay dead, at least that gives us some time to actually get to know him in a translated game.
It's difficult not to draw parallels with the Lance Maiden's sudden death following the War of the Lions.
Really? That sucks.
Unbelievable. I'm almost impressed how much trouble one man can stir up, even from beyond the grave.
Right, so... I hadn't given us
so many plots in motion. I doubt even his death put a stop to them all.
That's foreboding. The Legend of Heroes, Trails of Cold Steel 2. I hadn't even given a second thought to what had actually happened to Chancellor Osborne's body. Touring Erabonia 1. Wow. Oh, this is jaunty. Alright. Just riding around, doing whatever. Courageous, Bridge. Okay, and then
no change in weather or wind direction since entering Kreutzen provincial airspace.
We are currently cruising at a speed of 3,000 SPH. Nothing abnormal detected on the radar thus far.
Detour around the Twin Dragons Bridge, staying within the clouds.
Acting Captain Towa's definitely gotten into her groove pretty quickly.
Take extra care that we aren't noticed by the Noble Alliance's surveillance.
Yes, ma'am. Wow. She's a real natural at this.
Seriously. I wonder how these guys who are seasoned professionals at piloting this thing feel about taking orders from a teenager.
Yeah, it's hard to believe she's only been in the position for a day.
Indeed. She has proved a worthy captain in Father's place.
As if anyone could fit the role better than our student council president.
She still looks like a mascot character, though.
Yeah, and right you are, Fee.
That's just one of her many charms.
Yeah, and besides, I can feel at ease knowing she's in charge. So, today's the day we start our journey anew, right?
Right. We're still a third faction who's gonna stake our claim and make our place in this war, but I'm still not at all certain what that actually means.
Right. We settled what we'll be doing last night. Now all that remains is to do it.
Oh, okay, cool. We've got a plan? Nice. And, oh. Previous day Courageous conference room.
Well, Towa and George should be able to handle the day-to-day running of the ship, so that's out of the way. And whatever we decide, it's not like we're going to be able to do anything major today. Still, I think it's time we start hammering down exactly what we're going to be doing from tomorrow onward.
In theory, the Courageous gives us the ability to fly around the whole country with ease.
But, like I said, it's like a huge red target. We're not going to be able to just land wherever we want.
But, in reality, the Noble Alliance has control over most of Erebonia, so we're limited in where we can actually go.
Yeah, we don't want to risk getting too close to Alliance territory. We'd run the risk of being captured, or even worse, being shot down.
It's sad to think how we barely have anywhere we can land with an amazing airship like this at our disposal.
But that's the reality of the situation, though. A very realistic reality of the situation.
Care to share your thoughts on this, instructor?
Oh, you kids can just do whatever you want.
She's so laid back about this.
I lost the will to put in any effort after Captain Classy got off.
Oh. I forgot they had some sort of weird rivalry. Instructor Sarah's got a weird rivalry with, like, all of the adult female party members.
You slacker. I'm pleased that you think so highly of my father, but...
Maybe Laura can hook you up with a one-on-one lecture on the Arcade School of Courtsmanship, if you know what I'm saying.
I don't know if Milliam is, like, if this is a Laura x Sarah thing or a Sarah x Viscount Arcade thing.
I was kidding.
Oh. Well, welcome back to the fold then, Instructor Sarah.
In all seriousness, if you need more people fighting in whatever you end up doing, I'll be happy to help you out.
You know, I wonder what happened to that Master Quartz we got. Some guy was like, do you want Instructor Sarah's or do you want Instructor Nightheart's? And I picked Instructor Nightheart's, and we got his Master Quartz, but yeah. I mean, they haven't given it to us up until this point, so I know we don't have it, but I'm just curious about that.
Just don't forget that the Courageous was entrusted to you kids, not to me. If you want my advice, then you got it. But you need to be able to make all the important decisions on your own.
That's a whole lot of trust being placed in us. I don't know.
Of course.
You almost sound like an instructor for once.
Getting back to the matter at hand.
Yeah, because definitely one of the best teaching moments is like a war, right?
We don't need to decide everything right at this moment. What say you to figuring out how and what for now?
The acting Captain Towa thing just gets me every time.
Come again?
I assume what would be our overall goal. Something realistic that we can all work together towards.
Yes.
And the how would be a basic idea on how we intend to achieve it?
Yes.
Uh-huh. It's a little trick we use in the student council. It's easier to get motivated when you have a specific goal in mind.
You guys were doing the same kind of thing in the weeks before the Academy Festival, remember? The concert was what you were working toward, and all your other planning was how you intended to pull it off.
I see. That makes sense.
We did spend a lot of time before and during the festival working out all the details, come to think of it.
I was thinking there are definitely fewer chairs in this room, right? Like, this has to be the same room everybody was convened in earlier, right? Oh well, it literally doesn't matter, so.
Not to mention taking care of the things we couldn't plan, like the strange stuff at the old schoolhouse.
We were coordinating with all of the other classes and clubs at the same time, too.
When you break it down step by step, we did so much without even realizing it. And we may have our own personal goals right now, but if we can wrap those up into one overarching goal, it won't seem half as much.
Hey?
How about making it something related to the Academy itself, then?
Liberating Trista!
I was thinking the exact same thing.
Liberate Trista!
I wonder what's happening there.
We gotta liberate Trista! Man, that was forever ago. We wish that was forever ago.
Towa, George, the Academy is currently under the Noble Alliance's control, right?
That's right. The staff and students who are there are doing what they can, but...
As you know, during the attack, a lot of the students managed to flee Trista and are now scattered across the country. Now, most of the upper class students chose to stick it out, though. They've got no reason to fear the Alliance, being nobles and all.
Well, that makes sense. what specifically are they doing to the commoners? Are they making the commoner students do stuff?
Alright then. I think our what should be taking back the academy.
Yeah, buddy, liberate Trista!
That sounds good to me. The Courageous will serve as a good means of transport, but we'll need a proper base sooner or later.
But with it, we can get a better look at the current state of things in Erebonia and try to reach out to those who are in need.
And whatever information we learn along the way could bring us that much closer to liberating the Academy.
Can't see taking it back going that smoothly, though.
Maybe I just haven't accounted for the fact that now George, Towa, and Celine are seated, whereas Celine was sitting in Emma's lap and George and Towa weren't here. Yeah, that's probably it.
No doubt. It's near the capital, so its defenses are gonna be rock solid.
But of course, back to the topic at hand of liberating Trista.
Still, I like it. What goal is more worthy of us than reclaiming something we hold so dear?
Seriously, this makes a whole lot of sense.
Indeed. Regardless of personal motivations, I can't think of an objective more fitting to us as a group.
And if we actually manage to achieve it, the sky's the limit for us.
I'm genuinely moved by your positivity.
Why isn't she off training?
Well, their optimism is probably their strongest point.
We were thinking of something along the same lines, in fact, so it works out. And hey, if we all thought about it, what's to stop the others from Thors from thinking it too? So if you happen to bump into anyone who escaped from the academy, why not go and ask them to join us?
Okay, something is telling me that this might be a situation like the test that we took.
I'm not saying it has to be your primary focus or anything, but the more people we have on our side, the better.
You better believe we're about to get everybody who we've met along the way to join back up with us.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, we'll be sure to keep an eye out.
We have about the bare minimum crew we need to fly at the moment, but it's not like this is their full-time job.
What else would they be doing?
I'm sure our current staff won't be here forever, so we're gonna need a few extra hands on board at some point.
What could be more important than this?
Ideally, we could have whoever's here now stick around long enough to train anyone we end up recruiting.
I know our numbers are small right now, but the more people we can get on our side, the higher chance we stand of making Trista and the Academy our home again.
Like, they keep stressing this, and maybe it's gonna automatically be part of the goal for right now, and it's not something we can optionally do, but...
And I don't know about you, but I get this weird sense of satisfaction knowing that we students are gonna be the ones to do it.
I can get behind that.
I know the feeling, actually.
Everything works for me.
I'd say that's our how decided, wouldn't you?
Agreed. To wrap all this up, we'll use the Courageous as our base, and as a way to get a good idea of the current state of things in Eastern Erebonia. Along the way, we'll try to recruit as many fellow Thor students to help us out as we can, all for the sake of our primary goal, taking back Thor's military academy.
Alright. So, finally, dude, we now have something that we're gonna do. Well, I suppose what we need to decide next is where we should head for first. Yeah, we don't have many places we can go at the moment, but there's Legram, Ymir, the North Highlands. We're able to land at the 4th Armored Division's base too, right? Yeah, I asked Dad about that yesterday, and he's fine with it. Probably better for us to swing by all of them at once, really. Or all of them once, really. Oh, almost forgot. Prince Oliver sent you a few requests to take care of. He did? Oh, joy. The details are all right behind you. Behind us? Oh. Oh, there's an orbital computer here. I've only ever really used one in class. No need to fear. Technology doesn't bite. Plus, it'll be easier in the long run for you to grab stuff from there. So, go on. Take a look. Sure. Oh, lucky us. These are made by the Epstein Foundation, so they're identical to the ones we used in class. There we go. Something's popped up. So this is how everything's displayed. The Intelligence Division has some of these too, I think. Badass in danger. Patiri's in trouble. Those damn noble soldiers, they... Damn it. Oh! Patiri and cargo! These are, Pateria is Machias' childhood friend and Cargo is a kid in their area. This is Heimdall then. I'll tell you at the inn in Legram, okay? Hurry up and get over here. Oh no, wait, do I have that mixed up? No, Pateria and Cargo, that sounds right. Inn in Legram. Lieutenant General Craig, a civilian is taken into our protective custody has vanished. Would you be willing to offer us a few more sets of eyes as we look for him? Speak with me at the camp for further details. Find our first years. President Towa. I figured out where a few Thor's students are. I know it's important to get them to join us, but I just want to make sure our first years are safe. They'll be checking on Monica, who is at the 4th Armored Division's base. Mint, who is in Nord. Casper, who's at Legram. And Vivi, who's at... I want to say Ymir, because we met her in some sort of chapel, but Ymir doesn't seem right. It might have been wherever the first place we went was. Dang it, I'm blanking on where Vivi's at. But I know we met her in a chapel somewhere. I'm sure they'd all make great additions to the crew. The terminal on the bridge will tell you just where you can find them. Thanks. Okay, cool. We don't have to remember. Monster Madness. Elder Ivan. A large, mysterious monster has appeared on the Highlands. We would ordinarily have asked Lacan to take care of it, but he's out on patrol and can't be reached. Would you be willing to defeat it for us in his stead? If so, you can find me talking with Gwyn in the lakeside cabin. Wow, it was more expedient for him to send that to us rather than wait for Lacan to get back? Alright. That's fine, it's more XP for us, so... There's one from Nord, one from Legram, one from Gorelia's Proving Ground. Seems we've got plenty of work in store for us all over the country. And how I wish it were my imagination, but I think I saw a depressingly familiar name on one of them as well. I'm kinda worried about the one Dad sent us. And I don't think we can ignore that unusual monster that's appeared in Nord either. Prince Oliver took the time to gather and send all of these to us himself? Wow! How'd he manage to do that? He just left for Western Erebonia. He's a guy with plenty of connections, especially through the Bracer Guild. He said he's going to keep finding stuff like this and that he thinks you can handle and send them your way. How many you end up doing is up to you, but I'd recommend taking care of the more urgent ones at least. Understood. I don't think any of us mind one bit. Indeed, it helps bring focus to our goal of touring the region and helping those in need. With that being said, I would assume checking the safety of our fellow Thor students is our top priority. I took the liberty of giving you that one myself. We're slowly getting information on where other Thor students could be. Anytime we find something, we'll update the computer. And who knows, maybe they'll be willing to join us too. How convenient. I'm suddenly very grateful for those classes. Guess we'll be checking this thing pretty often. Well, I think that's almost everything. When you've decided where you want to go first, let me know, okay? Oh, and George is hard at work setting up an orbital factory in the ship's hold. So if you need any modifications made to your Arcus or any quartz, you can sort those out there. While you're at it, it's worth checking out the other facilities on board too. It's not much now while we're short on staff, but I'm sure any students you recruit will get creative with their space. Okay, so we might open up more shops and we will open up more shops and facilities the more students join us. That's cool. Might as well. That's got a real Digimon World feel to it. Still, do you guys mind if we figure out who's going to be making up our active party when we disembark first? Actually, if we're doing that now, would you mind including me? Wow. I'd like to see the strange monster from the Highlands request myself. I don't mind at all. That sounds fair. I can come with if you need a hand too. You just let me know if I'm needed, okay? Thanks, instructor. Now let's see. It is temporarily not possible to remove Gaius from the party. That seems kind of random to me, but whatever. Let's... You, and you. Yeah. It's kind of weird they had us pick right now. Okay, let's get going. Right! Let's go, go, go! So they're making us go to Nord first? I mean, that's fine, but I thought we were gonna get to pick. Act 2, The Awakening Lions, The Legend of Heroes, Trails of Cold Steel 2. I should probably do as the instructor recommends and tour the facilities on board at least once before disembarking. There's not much, but it'd be smart to go see George in the ship's hold and pay Valimar a visit. It might be good to see Princess Elfin too. You can now view the student info tab in your notebook. Well, alright then. That was a pretty fruitful getting everything situated. So we're gonna go ahead, explore the Courageous, and then get to work in Nord. All of that's going to be next time though, so definitely join me then for more Trails of Cold Steel 2. Bye for now, guys.
Trot,